It was like one of those things where I was watching the movie like this and going, "Ew." Then I take my hands away and I go, "Oh, but that's really funny." But ooh. Welcome back to Glenn Hates Everything. I'm Glenn, and let's see if I hate everything. At the top here, though, I want to give a shout out to a listener, viewer, named Andrea, who notices that I change the background here all the time. And in this case, today's background is a topographic map of the state of Kansas. Long story, but let's get to the headline. We're here to talk about the movie together. This is the directorial debut of Michael Shanks, who wrote and directed, and he has done a lot of shorts prior to this, and he describes himself as a maximalist filmmaker, and man, is he accurate. This is not a subtle film. It goes for broke, and it's pretty obvious, and you kind of know where it's going, but it is a fun ride. I recommend this for everybody as long as you can handle the gooey, icky, gory kind of stuff. It stars real-life married couple Allison Brie and Dave Franco, and I think you need to be a married couple to be able to get through this role. It's pretty intense. You have to be in close approximation to each other, and it's just kind of gross. But it's a total blast. This is one of my favorite debuts of this year for sure, and it's definitely one of the best body horror films of the year, no doubt. So what's it about? I'm not going to spoil anything, but Allison Brie plays Millie and Dave Franco plays Tim, and they've been married for a while, and things are a little stale. It feels like he's not really all that attracted to her, and she's sensing that. But they have a big change of course, and they move out from the city to the country, where they feel they could get to know each other a little bit better, connect more. She goes there for a job as a teacher at a school, and he is kind of struggling in his professional life. And maybe this will give them that new beginning that they need. However, there's a prologue where something quite freaky happens, and it kind of colors how we view the rest of the film. There's something very ominous happening in them there woods. It's pretty much a two-hander. They're joined by a third character named Jamie, and that's played by Damon Harriman, who I best remembered in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where he played Charlie, kind of like Charlie Manson, but never really called that. And he plays a teacher at Millie's school, befriends her, and he's their neighbor. And he'll play into this storyline at some point, that is for sure. But one day they go for a hike in the woods, Millie and Tim, and something quite horrific happens. And I'm not going to spoil anything more of this movie than that. That you know it's body horror. If you've seen the trailer, you see them kind of getting stuck together. Their lips touch. They have trouble pulling them apart, for example. This is just icky, gooey, visceral filmmaking. And it's so propulsive. It just moves. It may get a tad repetitive. Tim's character often makes mistakes and apologizes, and then makes another mistake and apologizes. And that does kind of slow things down a bit, but just by a bit, because this movie has one set piece after another, and there are references to other films all over it, yet it feels like its own thing. And those references are so odd. It's like you feel alien in this movie, in the production design in one particular set. The Fly certainly comes to mind. Altered States, that Ken Russell film with the late William Hurt, has that kind of freak out, hallucinogenic quality that this film shares. The most unexpected reference, though, was a ping on Hedwig and the Angry Inch. And if you're familiar with the song The Origin of Love, which tells the story of Plato from his symposium about who we are as people and how we originated and what love means to human beings. This film, with all of its gross out moments, some absolutely hilarious, one bathroom scene in particular you will not soon forget. There's also a great hallway scene. There's a great driveway scene. There's amazing scenes in the woods. There's amazing scenes with dogs. I just count so many set pieces in this movie because it's such a thrill ride. But this Hedwig and the Angry Inch thing just came as a big surprise, and I loved it because it's very apropos to this film. Great cinematography, fantastic editing, great use of silence and sounds, really cool score too. But these performances really help elevate this to a completely different level. Alison Brie I've really enjoyed in so much of her work. And it's rare that you see a married couple who can recreate that chemistry on screen. But these two have such an oddball chemistry, and it really works. She's disappointed in him. He's not attracted to her. He's always just in a sad sack sort of state until things start to go awry. And then the expressions of horror, especially on Dave Franco's face, really carry us through these really horrific moments and just bring it to a whole new type of pressure. You really feel it. You feel what's going on in this film. Alison Brie has this incredible facility to let us in on her emotional state every single beat of the film. And that is just priceless. I really loved watching these two interact, figure out what it is they loved about each other, because that is a big question right from the start. You kind of have to believe that at some point they did love each other, and there's some evidence of that for sure in the film. But you question the nature of, is it good to have a partner, or is it horrifying? Is it toxic? Is it what is the word? Suffocating. I can't even come up with words today, and I'm the one talking. But yeah, this is just a breezy, fun film, and it's got the best killer final shot of the year, for sure. It makes you laugh, it makes you cringe, and it just ends up being completely satisfying. Can you tell that I didn't hate this one? Hey, run out and see it when it opens July 30th, and leave a comment below when you do, because I'm dying to hear what everybody else thinks of this. I can't imagine anyone disliking this film. That's how much I love it. So consider that a big recommendation.